What's going on, y'all? Y'all hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, Machiavelli Mills TV. So I see a lot of people are starting their graduate school journey, and I want to talk about my time in graduate school. Y'all, I said it once, I said it again. Grad school was probably one of the most challenging things I've ever done in my life. It represents one of the toughest challenges I ever had, for real. And I was able to overcome that challenge and conquer it, right? But we gonna just, and I know a lot of people are stressing out. I see a lot of people like, yo, grad school gonna be the end of me. This grad school life is just crazy. It's like, it's just so much work. It's so much stuff you gotta do. You can't miss nothing. You gotta stay on top of everything. And you're absolutely 100% correct. So I remember, I went to graduate school at Arkansas State University in Jonesboro, Arkansas. I matriculated there after getting my bachelor's degree from Mississippi Valley State University, the great Mississippi Valley State University, a historically black college in the Mississippi Delta of Itabena, Mississippi. So after I get my bachelor's degree in mass communication, I go on to Arkansas State. I got to Arkansas State because, one, I heard about it from other people who are already there at the school. Mississippi Valley had a pipeline to Arkansas State, due to the fact that our department chair was close friends with the department chair at Arkansas State. And he's like, listen, he was telling us about the school and how great it was. It was a great program for a lot of people. Graduate housing, they gave you graduate housing. You didn't have to go find it on your own and pay rent, nothing like that. They gave you graduate housing. The graduate housing was your own apartment, right? It came, it wasn't furnished, but it came with cable and it came with internet, which was beautiful for me, right? So anyway, I go to Arkansas State. There are two other people who are from Mississippi Valley who are already there. They're in their second year there, right? I get there, y'all. I remember my first day in class. I'm an introduction to graduate studies. Now, I'm thinking regularly, we thinking like, Mississippi Valley, the first day of class, you ain't really doing nothing but going over the syllabus. You just breaking down what's going on, what's the expectation for the class. Do a little icebreaker here and there, and then we gone. No, first day in graduate school, wasn't no time for no icebreaker. Now, we had a little icebreaker. We had a little icebreakers. But it was straight into straight into work, straight into teaching. The class was scheduled from 5:30 to 8:20. We went from 5:30 to 8:40. Dr. Gilbert Fowler. Dr. Fowler went over the time. He was just so into what he was talking about. Y'all, again, I remember I didn't even eat before I went to the class because I'm thinking, hey, we're going to get out of here in a minute. I'm going to be all right. Y'all, my stomach touching my back. I remember when he gave us a break, I thought he was about to say we were done. He was like, well, we'll give you a little 5-minute break. Whoa, what? I'm in there like, no. I'm looking at the syllabus. Yo, his stuff is extensive. He's talking about what we need to do each week because the goal of the end of the class for us to write a research paper, which I did on why it was basically should collegiate athletes be paid? Should the NCAA be paying their athletes, especially in revenue generating sports? Which now we see NIL going on. So ultimately they did. They agreed with me, and I felt like they should have been paying them. But anyway, I remember like looking through the syllabus, and I'm like, yo, this is a lot. And his expectations weekly. This is a lot. He gave us about 4 or 5 assignments that first day in class. I looked around. I'm looking, thinking to myself, yo, did I make a mistake? Am I supposed to be here, dog? I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to make it. Then he tells us, you can either write a thesis paper to get out of the program, to finish out of the program. Or you can take something called a comprehensive exam. Now, when you take comps, we had like 4 questions. You have to answer these questions in essay format. If you miss one, you got to get all of them. You can't miss one. You got to get all of them correct. You only have 2 times to take this test before you have to start the entire program all over again. Right? So that was something that had me scared and nervous. Like, what the hell? Like, what the hell, dog? Like, this is not, like, just to think you can't miss none. And it's like, you got to answer them in essay format. It just had me, like, nervous. And I was really, really like, yo, I don't know. I don't know if I made the right choice, y'all, because I'll be damned if I can't pass out of this program. I'll be damned if I take this test twice and I got to start everything over. Hell no. Right? So anyway, I remember that semester, that was the hardest I've ever worked as a student. Now, I worked extremely hard at Mississippi Valley State University. I worked my ass off. I did what I had. I'm telling you, I pumped out papers. I wrote great. You know, I've always been a strong writer. But grad school called for something different. Like, you really had to put your all in every single thing you did, in the research you did. Like, you really got to use them research databases. To the point I had to leave my apartment and go to the library so I can focus. I could not procrastinate like I did in undergrad on certain things because it was just so much for you to do and go through. Now, thank God I wasn't a person who's going through grad school working a job, like working an 8-hour job, a 9 to 5. What? If I was one of them individuals, it'd have been over with for me. It'd have been over with if that was me, working an 8-hour job. I promise y'all, man, like I couldn't, I was a graduate assistant. I had a full graduate assistantship. So I was working in the college checkout room, working for professors, reviewing certain work. I would administer tests for teachers when they were going out of town or something. I would facilitate certain things for them. I did those things, right? But like I didn't work a 9 to 5. Working that, I could never do that. That would have been extremely hard. And then, not to mention, I was a father, but my daughter was in Chicago with her mother. You know, and thank God to her mother and my parents for looking after her while I was gone. But just when you got kids doing it, it's a real struggle. So I didn't have to have that on me, which helped me in a lot of ways. So I can only imagine people who have that on them. Like, it was a different environment. Think about this. I'm leaving my historically black college to a predominantly white institution where, like, first of all, I don't feel a sense of community outside of my 2-person friend group, the 2 people who went to Mississippi Valley State with me. I don't feel a community outside of that at that point, right? I wasn't a brother of Kappa Alpha Psi at that point. So it's like I'm going, and then graduate school itself is lonely. It's a lot lonelier than undergrad. Undergrad, you in class with a nice amount of people. At HBCUs, we got like 30-something people in the class. Grad school, different. These people in grad school, a lot of them are non-traditional students. You have people who are international students who are coming to America for the first time. So there's a language barrier. Some of them are just learning the language. Some of them know English well, but it's just that, due to certain perceptions of Black Americans, some of them were a little standoffish at first. And then because they've heard bad things about Black folks, and then they come to gravitate to you when they see that shit is not true. You know what I mean? But then again, I'm dealing with the aspect of, I'm a Black man, and I don't see a lot of Black folks around like that. There's Black folks at Arkansas State for sure. But it ain't a whole bunch of us. We are the clear minority there. Anyway, then you dealing with the aspect of even some of the white folks there. It's a whole different thing because a lot of them have admitted that their first interaction with Black people came while stepping onto the campus of Arkansas State University. I had a friend from Wynne, Arkansas. Wynne. She told me Wynne is Wynnne. She told me she had never interacted with Black folks till she got to Arkansas State. Had another young white girl. She was from Harrison, Arkansas. Ku Klux Klan land, okay? She had never interacted with Black folks before then. Ended up dating, had a Black boyfriend and all that, but she had never been around Black folks. So, you know, it's a different sense of community. And at the HBCU, it was so small. My historically black college was small. So we knew everybody. We knew each other. You felt like everybody, was family in a way. Arkansas State was different. So not only am I dealing with this rigorous coursework, the only outlet I have is my 2 friends from my alma mater, from my undergraduate alma mater, right? And so, but I remember during those times, they're the ones who kept me sane. They kept me sane all the way. Like, they were the ones, like, I promise y'all, working, it really tested my mental fortitude at times. But I was so dead set on proving people wrong because there were a lot of people who came from Mississippi Valley State who tried to go into the communication program and ended up changing majors because it was so rigorous and they didn't think they could do it. There's a lot of people that end up shifting away and going away from the program. I wanted to prove that I could be one of those people who come from Mississippi Valley State, from this historically black college, where people think our curriculum is watered down for us and everything is handed to us. I wanted to prove that I was exemplary at Mississippi Valley State University. I'm going to be exemplary at Arkansas State. So I bust my ass. I worked hard as hell on them papers. I'm telling y'all, I got some of the stuff in my emails. I can share some of it with y'all. The stuff I'm telling you, I was researching. I'm talking searching through every nook and cranny on those research databases. But it really was something. I got to make sure I do the bibliography page right. I'm doing the APA format. Had to be to a T. He was really great in this. Dr. Fowler wasn't playing. He wasn't bullshitting. And I felt like his class was the one that gave you the ultimate test to see if you can handle the rigors of graduate school. But then after that, I went to qualitative research methods, quantitative research methods. I went to all these different classes where, I had to really, put my best foot forward at all times. And I couldn't be lacking in areas. So it was every day me looking up research articles, things to find to help my points that I wanted to make. I remember sitting in the library, looking at these databases. This Chick-fil-A ain't in Chicago. We ain't have a Chick-fil-A on campus in Mississippi Valley, and it wasn't like super close to us in the area that I was in. So I really started eating Chick-fil-A at Arkansas State because we had it in the Union. I'm eating my little chicken sandwich, my little chicken biscuit from Chick-fil-A in the morning with my little orange juice, and with the little jelly on it. Let me tell you something. Chicken. Who thought jelly on chicken would be banging? So you eat it from the Chick-fil-A within the Chick-fil-A biscuit, right? But anyway. Yeah, man, I'm in there like, yo, this is really, it was challenging me for real. I was so stressed out at times, y'all, doing all of that. Like, it was just like, man, retail therapy was real for me. I was going to Turtle Creek Mall in Jonesboro to go in Forever 21. This was when I was clean. Grad school, I was as sharp as I ever been. Sharper than a goddamn porcupine. Sharper than a thumbtack. You hear me? Sharper than Sargento cheddar cheese. Okay? I was in there in, Forever 21 and H&M. I'm buying stuff just to try to make myself feel good because I'm like, yo, I'm stressed out. At least let me look good while this stuff going on. I found myself at the football games, Arkansas State Red Wolves football game, jumping. The crowd is humongous. They lively, and I'm having fun watching the game. But I'm thinking in the back of my mind, I gotta write this paper. I gotta do this exam. I got to do this project. I got to do this assignment. You're thinking about it in your head, right? And so the key to that was I had to build a community, and I already had a small community with my people from Mississippi Valley State who we would go out and go eat. We go to the movies. You have to have time to let yourself decompress in ways. When you're in grad school, you have to. Whether it be if you're just going to, again, I was going to sporting events and still thinking about what I had to do, but it helped me. How I was able to laugh with my friends. We go watch movies that came out at the movie theater. We go to each other's house watching stuff on Netflix, right? We'll go eat at Cheddar's. We're going to go eat at Chili's. We're going to go eat at Waffle House. We going to the mall together. We going to just go on walks together. Then I made friends within my graduate program outside of just my people from Mississippi Valley. The international kids, we kicking it, we hanging out, we laughing, we joking, and we finding common ground with each other, and we just enjoying each other for real. And we were all sharing our struggles with how we were stressed out about things, and it helped you know that you're not alone in this. Then I had something else outside of my friend group to help alleviate me in a way from the stress. I told y'all I got back into playing video games when I got to grad school. I was so, bombarded with work. And let me say this too. I felt like it was a lonely time that first semester for me because although I was closer to Chicago, my hometown, I was 7 hours away from Chicago in Arkansas compared to 10 hours away when I was in Mississippi. It felt like I was further away from Chicago because grad school can be lonely. And it's just the coursework is just so taxing. Like, I'm going to say this. Every class I took in grad school, we had to do a final paper. The final paper could not be less than 25 pages. That's what type of time they was on. And it was like, yo, it's like, what else can I research? You got to do some research. So y'all, man, I was going to them office hours with the teachers. trying to see how I can get better in certain areas, on certain things, picking their brain, they're picking mine, they're triggering certain things in my brain to think differently about how I'm assessing certain matters in my writing, etc. So I want to tell people who in grad school, man, go listen. If you on campus, go talk to them teachers, right? Try to, go to them office hours if you can. Even if you're not on campus, go and see if you can go up there if you can. If you're hours away, like some other people are, get with some other people in your class. You all talk amongst each other. You all share your feelings and share your thoughts, and pick each other's brains so that way you all can take something from this person, that person. I'm not talking about taking their work, but you can take their perspective of how they looking at certain things and looking like, man, okay, I see how he looked at it on the paper he writing, on the paper I'm writing. I can look at it at the same perspective, and I can look at it in the same method while I'm talking about my topic, right? But yeah, let me get back to what I was saying because I got off track. I started back playing video games in grad school because I was just that stressed out and I needed an outlet. I remember going to I was in Walmart. Walmart was another place I did, a lot of retail therapy in, right? I'm in Walmart and I see the PlayStation 4 is there. Mortal Kombat X had just came out. I'm like, yo, I want a video game. I remember calling my mama when I make big purchases. Back then, I was 21, 22. I'm calling my mama before I make a big purchase. She like, listen, if you want it, go ahead and get it because you'll be mad if you don't get it. Got that game, the best thing I ever invested in. That's when I started back. I was playing 2K. I hadn't played a video game for real since the PlayStation 2 in 2006. That was the last time I picked up a video game. 2006 to 2022, I wasn't playing no video games. Not 2022, I'm sorry. 2006 to 2015, I did not play a video game. I played like one or two, but I didn't have a system. I wasn't playing no games or nothing, so I picked that habit back up of playing a game because it helped me out a lot. And it kind of just helped me, it kind of helped me separate from, the stress of what I had going on. Like, I was just like having fun with my game, all of that. When my sisters came to visit me in Arkansas, my family came, we all playing a game, me and my friends playing a game, having game night to try to like unwind and decompress. But I definitely had to lock in. So, I went to the dang on library, got out of my apartment with the TV as a distraction, etc. And I was locking in. But yeah, man, like grad school, it was a monster. It was a beast. But I was able to conquer it with maintaining a good friend group who, were all positive minded. We all supported each other. I found me outlets to alleviate my stress, like the video game, going to the movies with friends, going to the mall with friends, going to go bowling with friends. We would do a lot of different things, even go to bars. I don't even drink, but I would just go out there chilling for the ambiance, drinking my little Sprite, eating my little pasta. We went to a bar, pasta, good as hell, right? But yeah, man, grad school is a different beast, but you can conquer it. I just think people just need the right support systems put in place, and also to seek. If you need help, seek that help. If you have questions about things, don't be afraid to ask. That was one thing that helped me. I wasn't afraid to come to those office hours and ask, what do you mean by this? How am I looking at this incorrectly? Like how am I supposed to be looking at this versus how am I looking at how I'm supposed to handle this topic? What are some good research databases, LexisNexis, etc. Right? All these different I remember, man, them dang on databases. I forgot some of the names of them, but I was like, it became second nature for me to know these research databases because I was just using them all the time. And yeah, man, it was just like, it was repetition for me. But yeah, I know it's hard and it's rough and rigorous, but I feel like develop friendships with people in your class. Because sometimes even when you're going through a storm, the storm can get better when you got other people going through it with you. And they going through the same thing. Y'all expressing y'all frustration, but y'all supporting each other, uplifting each other to get over this hill. And that's what me and my friend group did all the time. Whether it was the international students I had just met, or other people I met at the school, or if it whether it was my friend group from Mississippi Valley, and then later I was Mr. Mississippi Valley State at Mississippi Valley, and then Miss Mississippi Valley State came to Jonesboro, Arkansas State during my second year, so I had her there as well. But develop those friend groups and give yourself time to decompress.